Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Would you like even more content? Here's my Patreon. Now onto the stories. Case file number 1009, written by Z Storm. The universe is running out of NPCs. This first happened when I moved schools. I realized the people there looked extremely similar. I first realized it when I saw one girl who looked almost identical to the girl in the previous school. Then I made friends with someone who looked like an older version of my previous friend. It doesn't help that my teachers look extremely similar to my family as well. Both my PE teachers remind me of my grandpa and stepdad. Not only that, but my history teacher looks extremely similar to my biological dad and has a similar personality to my dad. It's the same with my Spanish teacher, who looks almost identical to my grandma and similar personality. Maybe these are all coincidences, but I just found it weird because there's way more people than I listed that just look like reused models in a game. I really don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me? But why does everyone in my life look like reused models from a video game? Case notes for file 1009. The universe is running out of NPCs. So the obvious suggestion that many people would have and did have is that this is some sort of face blindness. I forgot the exact technical name for that. It's where people can't distinguish one face to another. Thing is, you describe that personality changes as well, and you're not saying that every single person in your life looks like someone else, just a lot of them do. If you're able to differentiate some faces, or most faces, it's just that many others do look similar, then I wouldn't say it's face blindness. I don't know if it's actual NPCs of the universe. It's a question I've had. How many people, human beings that are out there, are truly connected to a soul? And with so many iterations of so many copies of universes in the great multiverse, I'm wondering, are there base templates that are just operating similar to how their copies would operate, but they don't necessarily have a soul connected? And just in general, there may be plenty of NPCs running around, hyper-advanced AI. I mean, hell, in this universe, if this is a simulation, we already have AI that can replicate human beings pretty well. Nothing close enough to quite pass in the long term, but if we live in a simulation, then the AI running it, the computer, would be hyper-advanced. So is it possible that some human beings are literally just NPCs? Maybe. I won't presume that in any individual I meet, but in a general sense, yeah. And then there's a question of, can we choose to connect to a character that was going through the motions and was just a character in the universe? It wasn't an actively connected player later in life. You think, oh, you die, that's the last person you have in any universe, and then you wake up in the real world. Well then, can you just immediately jump back into a grown adult, or do you have to start as a baby? Maybe you can just jump into a later stage of life. Kinda fascinating, really. Case file number 1010, written by ammabermad. I saw my twin, but the proof was erased. This is kinda weird, for me at least. It just got me thinking recently. I traveled to attend the forum for a week. It was a stay-in forum with other representatives from my district, and with me is my, let's say, apprentice. It was about a 6-hour flight. We landed and went straight to the venue and hotel. After a day on the forum, me and my apprentice went snooping around, more of a get-to-know-the-place type of thing, and I saw a board of members posted on the wall. I saw someone familiar, and it was me. Face, name, including middle initial, body build, smiling in that picture. I've never been to that place, and my apprentice and I found it funny, so we took pictures and sent it to my wife. My wife sent it to my family. We had a good laugh at it. Didn't think much of it then. Later, a week or two had passed. I thought it would be a great icebreaker to talk about it in the office, so I grabbed my phone to show it to my coworkers, and weirdly, all the photos of him I took were gone. I even called my apprentice, and he has no recollection of the things that happened. Even my wife and family don't remember a thing. I tried looking for the photo in the cloud, but it was gone. I don't know. I just want to share this here. I found it weird, because I clearly remember it happening, and I had pictures. I'll look for it again if I have another chance to go there. Case notes for file 1010. I saw my twin, but the proof was erased. So, this is very peculiar. If it's just a universal switch, then that means that in the original universe, you did actually have your twin that you were seeing. and then you switch universes, and in that case, there was no twin of you in that universe, or he just wasn't in that venue where you were staying or exploring. Otherwise, I mean, it's not just an astral projection of yourself because it was a picture, it was posted on the board. Unless we go back to the idea I had where an astral projection could literally just be out there living its own life, completely oblivious to the fact that it's just a fragment of a soul of someone else. That's a bit out there and probably not the case. An unlikely event of seeing your twin in a picture and then switching universes. And in that one, no one knew what the hell's going on. Or it could also be a timeline fix. That wasn't supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to see the you there, and not seeing it will produce better results in the long run for whatever timeline reason that the universe has. Because I think there are alterations made in the buffer sometimes. I think that's much rarer though than just moving universes. Alterations are last resort, I guess you could say. Case file number 1011, written by Meganoki, the washing machine that twists reality. Growing up, my parents always had white washers and dryers. They never got new ones. They're just the basic ones, the top loaders. Sometime, maybe a couple months or maybe a year ago, I came home and my parents had red washing machines. They're side loaders. They looked brand new. I asked my mom when they got these. She looked at me confused and said they've always had these for years. She was very adamant about it and confused that I didn't know that. These have always been there since they bought the house. I told her I remember the white ones, and she kept saying, no, these are the ones we've always had. Well, I dropped it but was confused. Like, how did I not remember the washer and dryer I grew up with? Mind you, I moved into that house when I was 10, moved out when I was 19, and I'm almost 25 now. Okay, fast forward to today. I drove to my parents' house, which is about a 3-hour drive. I needed to pick up my birth certificate. So I'm talking with my mom, and then I started looking around the house because I like to see what has changed. The last time I was there was when the red washer and dryer thing happened. I went into the laundry room and saw the white washer and dryer that I remember having growing up. I asked my mom what happened to the red washer and dryer. She said, we had this conversation last time. I've never had a red washer and dryer. These are the same ones from when we got the house. I'm so confused. Case notes for file 1011, the washing machine that twists reality. So this reminds me of the story I narrated where someone, I think it was just, he might still have been a kid, but he grew up in the same place and they always had an oak table, or it might have been always a glass table, and then it switched to an oak table or vice versa, but it did switch by his perception. But his parents didn't think it switched, and when he checked pictures going back, it was always either a glass or oak table, like the parents were saying, but to his memory, it was the other. Thing is, in that story, it didn't switch back. In this case, the washing machines do. So what the hell's going on there? Is it just a double transition, double quantum immortality, or were you just temporarily in that other universe for some reason without it being quantum immortality? That does happen. More rare for that to happen and also interact with people in those universes. Maybe there was that one case in the story with Subway. There's so many mind-warping events that go on because of all these universal transitions that aren't explainable exactly the reasons why they happen outside of quantum immortality, which is simple. The rest is unclear as to the cause, but still fascinating to read. Bonus file, written by DrinkingVanilla, my phantom Beagle. My house has 2 floors and 1 set of stairs, only one way up and down. I have 1 dog, a Beagle, and she's not even a year old. I walk into the living room upstairs to grab my wallet, and I see her on the couch next to my son's car seat. I lean forward to see if she's chewing on the little toy that hangs from the handle. She's not. I head downstairs to where my bedroom is. I go down and walk over to my bed, and there is my dog, again, laying in my spot looking at me. I physically got chills all over my body and froze. I had just seen her not 45 seconds earlier on the couch upstairs. There's no way she got down before I did, because there's only one way down, which I took. I run through it over and over in my head, trying to think of what just happened, and I simply do not know. I'm positive I didn't imagine it. I even checked to make sure the reason she was next to the car seat was not to chew on his toys. Case notes for the bonus file. My phantom Beagle. So is this a case of, again, peering into a different universe when you're upstairs, where your Beagle was in that universe, upstairs just sitting by the child seat, maybe not chewing on the toy, but still just chilling there? Then you go downstairs, you're back in your normal universe, and the Beagle was downstairs. Obviously, didn't actually move in any physical space, just different universes. There's also, of course, astral projection, maybe because she was too lazy to actually walk upstairs to go chill by the child seat. I know some dogs can be lazy. Mr. Ben has been kind of lazy as of late, and refusing to eat kibble. I have to give him wet food now. He's such a gourmet fancy pants. He needs to do the fancy pants dance and get Michelle out here. I wonder if Red and Link will rent her out for just an evening. Maybe Mr. Ben will be happier after that. And now, time for the quote of the day. The bad news is that time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Michael Altschuler. Indeed, and you can be the ace pilot. You can be Tom Cruise if you want to be. Not literally, but you can have his mindset. Pilot that plane extremely fast, but be precise. It's keen to know what you want to do and what you want to grasp out of life. We're always moving in time and space, mostly in time. And then you have to decide, okay, I can steer the ship, I can't stop it, I can't make it go much faster or much at all in the technology we have. So I know I'm moving forward, and I know my speed. Where do I want to go? Think about that. Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Maybe it'll take a bit longer or a bit quicker, but you need to know where you want to go. Otherwise, you're wandering aimlessly through the desert with no compass. You're not going to get anywhere. And like the video, subscribe. Kinetic Symphony signing off.